disappearance of Brian Shaffer, a 27-year-old medical student at Ohio State University, remains one of the most baffling unsolved cases of the 21st century. On the night of the 31st of March, 2006, Shaffer went out with friends to a popular bar in Columbus, Ohio. Security footage captured him entering the bar, but never leaving. Despite widespread media coverage, exhaustive police investigations, and public interest, no trace of Shaffer has ever been found. His phone continued to ring for days, yet yielded no new leads. The case draws eerie comparisons to other mysterious disappearances, such as that of Ronald Tammen in 1953, also involving a young college student vanishing without a trace. The urban setting, lack of suspects, and total absence of physical evidence have fueled numerous theories ranging from foul play and voluntary disappearance to more far-fetched possibilities. With no closure for his family or the public, Brian Shaffer's case remains an enduring enigma and a chilling reminder of how someone can seemingly vanish without a trace in modern society. On the evening of the 31st of March, 2006, Brian decided to go out with friends to celebrate the beginning of spring break. He and his friend William Clint Florence started the night with dinner at a steakhouse. Afterward, they went bar hopping in the University District of Columbus, eventually ending up at the Ugly Tuna Saloona, a popular bar near campus. Surveillance footage from the Ugly Tuna Saloona shows Brian, Clint, and another friend, Meredith Reed, entering the bar around 1:15 a.m. on the 1st of April. The three were seen mingling and enjoying themselves. At one point, Brian was caught on camera talking to two women outside the bar. He then re-entered the bar alone. This was the last confirmed sighting of Brian Shaffer. When the bar closed at 2 a.m., Clint and Meredith waited for Brian outside, but he never appeared. Assuming he had left on his own, they eventually went home. The following day, Brian's girlfriend, Alexis Wagoner, became concerned when she couldn't reach him. They had planned to leave for a vacation in Miami on the 3rd of April, and it was unlike Brian to ignore calls or texts. By the 2nd of April, Brian's family and friends reported him missing. The Columbus Police Department launched an investigation, which quickly revealed the bizarre nature of Brian's disappearance. The Ugly Tuna Saloona was located in a busy entertainment district with numerous surveillance cameras. Police reviewed hours of footage but found no evidence of Brian leaving the bar. While cameras captured patrons entering and exiting, Brian was never seen leaving through any of the visible exits. This led investigators to speculate that he either slipped out through an unmonitored back exit or was still inside the bar when it closed. The search for Brian was extensive. Police interviewed dozens of people, including Clint and Meredith, as well as the two women Brian had spoken to outside the bar. None of the interviews yielded significant leads. Cadaver dogs were brought in to search the bar and surrounding areas, but no trace of Brian was found. The Brian Shaffer case shares striking similarities with the disappearance of Ronald Tammen, a 19-year-old student at Miami University in Ohio who vanished in 1953. Both were college students in Ohio, immersed in academic environments, and both disappeared under mysterious circumstances with no clear motive. Tammen vanished from his dorm room, leaving behind his wallet, keys, and personal items, much like Shaffer's untouched apartment. Neither case showed signs of foul play, yet both left investigators with little to work with. The urban college setting of Shaffer's disappearance mirrors the campus environment of Tammen's, and both cases have sparked speculation about psychological, conspiratorial, or unexplained phenomena. While Tammen's case remains unresolved with no reappearance, Shaffer's vanishing in a public urban setting adds a layer of intrigue. The fact that Shaffer disappeared in a crowded bar, under the watch of security cameras, parallels the inexplicability of Tammen's sudden absence from his dorm. These similarities have led some to wonder if the two cases might be connected to a broader pattern of disappearances among young men in academic settings, though no concrete evidence supports such a link. Over the years, numerous theories have emerged to explain Brian's disappearance. While none have been proven, each offers a possible explanation for this enduring mystery. 1. Some theorists believe Brian may have accidentally fallen or been injured while trying to leave the bar. The back exit led to a construction site, which was poorly lit and hazardous. If Brian had fallen into a hole or been struck by machinery, his body might have been missed during the initial searches. However, extensive searches of the site yielded no evidence. 2. Voluntary disappearance. Another theory is that Brian chose to disappear and start a new life. Those who support this theory point to Brian's grief over his mother's death and the pressure of medical school as possible motives. However, friends and family insist that Brian had no history of mental health issues and was excited about his future, including his plans with Alexis. 3. Foul play. Many believe that Brian fell victim to foul play. The area around the Ugly Tuna Saloon was known for its nightlife but also had a reputation for occasional violence. Some speculate that Brian may have been attacked and his body disposed of in a way that evaded detection. However, no evidence of a struggle was found, and the lack of surveillance footage complicates this theory. 4. Human trafficking or abduction. A less common but still plausible theory is that Brian was abducted, possibly as part of a human trafficking operation. While this theory is difficult to prove, the lack of evidence and sudden nature of his disappearance leave it as a possibility. Brian's disappearance raises numerous unanswered questions. 1. How did Brian leave the bar without being seen on surveillance footage? Investigators have noted that blind spots in the camera coverage could have allowed Brian to leave unnoticed. However, this remains speculative. 2. Why didn't Clint cooperate fully with the investigation? Clint Florence declined to take a polygraph test and has been criticized for his limited cooperation. While he has never been named a suspect, his actions have fueled suspicion among some observers. 3. Could Brian still be alive? Some believe Brian may still be alive, possibly living under a new identity. However, there has been no confirmed sighting of him since the 1st of April, 2006. Brian's disappearance devastated his family. His father, Randy Shaffer, became a vocal advocate for missing persons and participated in numerous searches. Tragically, Randy was killed in a freak accident in 2008 when a tree fell on him during a storm. Brian's brother, Derek, has continued to keep his memory alive and hopes for answers one day. Alexis Wagner, who was deeply in love with Brian, struggled to move on. She called his phone daily for months, and while the calls went to voicemail, they offered a small comfort. In a heartbreaking twist, one call appeared to ring through in September 2006, suggesting the phone was still active. However, this was later attributed to a glitch in the phone system. The disappearance of Brian Shaffer is a haunting reminder of the limits of modern investigative techniques and the mysteries that persist in our connected world. Despite exhaustive efforts by police, private investigators, and volunteers, no definitive answers have emerged to explain how or why Shaffer vanished from the Ugly Tuna Saloon. The similarities to other cases, such as Ronald Tammen's, suggest his disappearance may be part of a broader, unresolved phenomenon. Whether the truth lies in an accident, foul play, a voluntary exit, or something unknown, the case continues to captivate and confound, underscoring the fragility of certainty in the face of the inexplicable. As long as questions remain unanswered, Brian Shaffer's story will endure as a chilling enigma,